There we go, the mic's on. We're going to be doing some Airbnb and finishing up that hotel edit that we're working on. I got a couple other shots to work on. But let's go to our Airbnb stuff from yesterday, and we're just going to be going through our stuff here. Let me go live here. There we go. All right, I'm going to apply a straightener. Just make sure my images are all straight. And I think we're going to de-orange, de-yellow these a little bit, so they look a little bit oranger than it actually was. Just on the saturation, a little de-orange, a little de-yellow. On the saturation, a little de-red. Go to our hue. Let's make our reds more of an orange tone. Our oranges maybe a little bit more yellow. Our yellow is just more of a yellow tone. Okay, I'm gonna hit done on that. And I'm gonna reopen that all in Camera Raw. And we're just gonna go through it to make sure our images are straight. Double check them. And on this one, I did shoot with the lights off, and you can see kind of how clean the walls come out when you shoot with the lights off, because you don't have as much mixed light in the property. Alright, let's start cranking through these. Make sure they're straight. Actually, this one, do that, because I'll try to take that one more straight on. Alright, let's see, keep cranking through these here. I like the way these actually came out. These came out really nice. I'm gonna go to my outsides here, and I'm gonna reset all of this here to 0, just because I don't want to pull any color out of my outside stuff. Okay, all that looked pretty good. Alright, let's get these out to full res JPEGs. We'll go in, we'll do any wire removing or any cleanup just to make the images look a little bit more clean. Looks like we got one person watching on Twitch at the moment. We got a couple people watching on Instagram. Thanks for joining the stream here. Right when we get into our editing here, we'll do some wire removal. On some of these images. That's a new feature in the Photoshop 2025 where it'll just take the wires out for you there without, having to go in and select them. Great for architecture, of course. Okay, I'm gonna load all these up in Photoshop, and then we're just gonna go through them real quick here. We're gonna open all of them, whether they need editing or not. Give that a second to load up in Photoshop there. Rosie, please sit down. Okay, that looks good. Maybe just a little retouching on the table, just a little bit here. Good enough. Same thing here. Let's try and clean up that. Anything that might be distracting in our images. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to extend this out a little bit just so we get a little bit more faucet. Do the generative expand. Undo that again. And so we get a little bit more faucet in there. Give it a second to think about that. Forget that. Not gonna do anything with this one. Didn't help. Okay, let's do the removal tool. Haven't find distractions. Let's do wires and cables. Give it a second to think about that. Go in and it's just gonna automatically remove that wire for me. It must be using the generative fill because it is taking a little while there. Like they converted it more into like a shadow. So it's going. That time it didn't do a super great job. Better. Okay, that looks cool. Let's try the tool again. Wires and cables. Let's see how it does on this one. But that one did a really nice job. You even removed the one way over there too. Okay, next. Next. Do wires and cables on this. A second here. And we'll just go in and remove this one here. Just didn't see that. It does a pretty decent job. Pull F7 that, close that out. Rid of that. Start removing this right here. Normally, if this is like real estate, I'd shoot it a little bit lower, try and get a little bit of floor. But when you're doing Airbnb, it's more about kind of like the feel of the space versus the wideness of it. That looks clean. Okay. Yeah, this one has a lot of wires in it. You must be using a lot of generative AI on that one because it's taking a little while to think about it. We did pretty good on that. I got rid of that stuff there and there. We just have this wire here. Pretty clean looking stuff, actually. I can keep kicking through these. Don't see really a lot to retouch on this stuff. Maybe do the find distraction, remove wires. I could almost miss this one. And miss this one right here. And pretty clean looking. Okay. Switch back to our spot heal brush. Just trying to heal some of this roughness on this table. That rough edge there too. Cut. Cut. Those are all set to go.
Yes, but please don't call the manager. Why is this sitting on his screen? That's just nice for you. I'm command the manager. You'll file. Why is the line so long?
I guess if I wanted to, we could probably put some grass in there. Grab some grass. Sounds like it worked out. I'm just gonna grab my client information for that job so I can batch rename my files. Got 2 days ago. My phone here. grab that here. Okay, let's see. A second here. Let's see. Reshop this. Plan info. Punch in there. And I'm just going to be off on the side here that way you guys can't see my client's info. Line. Play, Aurora. Edit this. This was scheduled this for. We're gonna batch rename my files here. Grab our property address. Grab our client name. Go through our shots here, get these batch renamed and in order. Probably gonna have to update my metadata. Edit metadata template. Let's go to our Airbnb one. Make sure that should say 2024. Place. Okay, now let's go pen metadata, Airbnb. Okay. Let's check these out. We'll kick these out to WebRes. Cool. Rename that folder. WebRes. full res. We'll up those to Dropbox a little bit later. I just need to slightly edit this invoice and make it 2,300. Since with them, they did 23 photos. Okay. Let's go back to our other stuff that we were working on. Let's go raw files. Let's start with this bathroom shot here. That's maybe just like 3 exposures on that. Let's load these up into Photoshop layers. Okay, let's align layers here. And I'm just going to bring these each up a stop. Exposure, that way they blend a little bit easier. Okay, let's select our brights. And we're just going to layer mask this. Let's bring our flow up to 100%. And we're just going to selectively paint this in where we need it. Maybe do like 50% of this back. And we'll go like brights number 6. I just want to pull in just that light there. Paint that in. Go 100% opacity on my brush. Okay, let's go in and fix this up. First off, let's knock down our highlights a little bit. Bring up our shadows and our blacks. Just to blend these together a little bit better. Okay. Let me double check the blend of my light here. That looks fine. Maybe just drop the highlights a little bit on that. Let's merge our layers. Give it some contrast. Push our exposure until our midtones kind of start to glow a little bit. Just push our shadows a little bit, not much. Push our blacks a little bit. Okay, pull down our highlights. So everything looks pretty well controlled. Looks like we've got a nice detail in there. A little bit of sharpening. Let's do a hue saturate. And I'm gonna have it select this color in here. There's this kind of like tan pink kind of like color. And we're just gonna go after that with our brush. Okay. We'll deselect. And I'll probably drop that to like 50%. But I still want a little bit of the warmness in there. Just not a ton of that tan pink. Yeah, right there looks good. And now let's come in and give this a brightness adjustment. Okay. Now I'm going to come in, merge these layers again. Go into camera raw. Do some straightening. Who knows, this image might look straighter than I think it is. Go to this corner here. Get her. Okay. Now let's pull down on our highlights until we bring back a nice amount of detail. Yeah, I'm just gonna check this picture for any weird tones that I don't want. Hey, thanks for following the stream, Gotham Cheese Fan. Gotham Cheese Fan, what's going on? Welcome to the stream here. We're just doing some architectural photo editing. And I think I'm just about done with this image. I'm just double check and make sure it doesn't have any weird magenta in here that I can pull out. Using our saturation. The only other thing I'm going to fix on this image, and I know this because I shot that room, is that area... Oop, whoops. Let's dupe this. Okay. This area here is not blue like that. Let's see if I can... and more of like a gray. And we can ignore it, it's like a minor detail. Okay, let's save this one out. Try that again. Pull that number 11. Alright, next image. I guess it has a little bit of a blue tone to it, not a ton though. Probably reduce that. Alright. Do this one. Load these up into Photoshop layers. Hey, thanks for that bathroom photo did come out really good, Gotham Cheese fan. I gotta get my speech to chat on so I can hear you. Give me a second here. Do speech to chat here. Yeah, because otherwise I'm missing like comments here. Give me a second here. Alright, let's test the chat here, make sure it's working. Speech chat isn't working correctly, it looks like. Have to fix that later. Alright, let's align all these. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up by a stop. Bring that up by a stop. Bring that up by a stop. The reason why we do that is so it'll blend a little bit easier, because HDR is kind of like blending white and black paint. You got to get your white and black paint to kind of match as you blend in your details. Let's have it select our bright information here. Okay. And I'm going to selectively paint that in. I hit the bed with like 50% of that, but the windowsill will hit with 100%. Get our light there. Okay. Go like 25% for the bed stuff. Bring back just a little bit of that detail there. There's a little bit in there. Okay. Much better. What I'll go in to this file here, we're going to do some raw adjustments to it to get it to blend a little bit better. So bring our shadows and our blacks up all the way, bring down our highlights like 26 there. It just makes the windowsill blend a little bit easier. And now we're going to do our hard window pull. Actually, I think I missed something. I didn't hit this light over here. Let's hit this light too on the ceiling. Maybe bring back a little bit more of our ceiling detail. Okay. Now we're probably good there. Let's do our window pull. Oops, shouldn't have held the spacebar there. And this can be kind of rough initially, and we'll go back and clean it up. And you know what, we might just, it doesn't look like it's going to let us do it super well on that, so let's try using this layer here. Getting there. Sometimes the selections are harder than they should be. Doing that. Grab a little bit too much, but that's okay. Grab all this down here. And let's remove all of this. We don't want any of that black edge stuff as much as we can. It just really fight me on this one. Maybe we use this layer. Get our window pull. Pretty close. Okay, and this can be kind of rough for a minute here. Let's go in and clean it up. Use our object selection tool. Really try and get this really good. Okay, let's paint this out. And this is going to be a tougher window pull. And we're just going to get it as close as we can by hand, and then we'll kind of feather our edge a little bit. Whoops. If I paint that like straight down. And now I'm just going to come over to my edge here, and we're going to feather by 2.5 pixels. And we're just going to come in and clean a little bit more of this up. So let's zoom out, see how that looks. I'm going to camera raw here. Just my shadows, my blacks. Pull down on the highlights. Maybe give the exposure a boost. It's because it's about like 4 stops under, so now it's about like 1.5 under now. Hit OK on that. That'll make it so our window frame blends a lot easier. Right. Now we can merge these together and then we'll start doing some color cleanup. So we'll add some contrast to it since we're blending some HDR, and we're just going to push our mid-tones until they kind of start to glow a little bit. Push our shadows a little bit. Push our blacks a little bit. And we're going to do some sharpening. We're going to hit OK on that. Actually, before we do that, let's go into our color mixer here. I'm going to make my oranges just a little more yellow. My yellow's more yellow. The red's more orange yellow. Reduce down our oranges a little bit. On our yellows. On our reds. Okay. And now we're gonna do our hue saturate. And this one that I just did is just for our whites. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna select some whites based on luminance mass. We're just gonna get our whites looking white. We got a little bit of mixed light in here. And we're just going to paint out the areas that should be white in our image here. I'm just going to go around my trim a little bit here. Whiten that up. Select our door here. Make that white. Okay. Paint these in. Gonna hit this trim edge here. Let's select our towels on the store here. Let's go in and select this stuff that should be white. Okay. And we're just gonna paint that all white. Very good. Okay, now we got our ceiling. Let's see if it'll do a nice selection for me here using the object selection tool. Good. Yeah, it did a nice job on that one. I didn't even have to draw that one in by hand. And we're just gonna paint our ceiling white with blue for the time being. So we'll fix that. Okay. And we're gonna set this to 79%. because that usually gets rid of most of our color. Makes it look pretty even usually. And now let's do brightness adjustment. And everything that was white, that should be white, now looks white. Okay. Now let's add another hue saturate. This is just for our anything that's a black tone that has any color in it that we don't like. Move this up here. If I can get a blue that shouldn't be in there. Okay. And I'm just going to go in and kill all of that mixed color that I don't want in there. And we'll go like 79% on that. Then we got a really clean looking photo there. Okay. Merge these. And actually what I should do with my window layer, make sure that on our hue saturate here we're not killing any color in our window here. They wanted me to make that view pop. Okay. Now let's merge all of our layers together. And I'm going to dupe this layer, and we're going to use this to clean up any additional color that, you know, is just making this photo not look clean. So we're going to come to our saturate here. Start by pulling out a little bit of blue. Make it more gray. Pull out some yellow oranges. Try and get some really even looking walls. Looks like there's some green in there somewhere. Pull out some aquas. Do some red. And we're going to layer mask that. I'm going to come up to my brush here. We're going to do 10% flow. Now I'm just going to go in and paint in the areas that have this like color that I just don't like. Get it cleaner. And now I'm just going to go in, collect a lot of my furniture stuff here. And bring back our saturation in the areas that we don't want to pull it out. Yeah, we'll probably do the dresser there, yeah. Okay. May hit B for brush. And we're just gonna paint back in that saturation that we might have pulled out from our curtain. And I think that's looking pretty clean. Let's merge all these one more time. Do one last adjustment. Maybe just bring back a little bit of our highlight information, a little bit more. Just gonna watch those towels and that door there. Okay, this one I tried to take pretty straight on, so we're gonna do vertical and horizontal straightening. Go back into our color mixer here and try and pull out any unwanted colors that are still kind of present. For the most part, it looks pretty clean. I think I might use the generative fill AI here to just clean out this trash can from its spot. Okay, we'll just hit Control F8, which is an action I put together that just makes it automatically hit enter on the generative fill there. It's like we got 4 viewers on Twitch at the moment. Thanks for joining the stream here. Yeah, that did a nice job cleaning that up. Let's see what options we have. I'm just gonna clean that up first. I'll close that chair, I think. That way that trash can wasn't even there at all. And just for the fun of it, to play with a new tool that just came out, this is the Find Distractions tool under the, what is it, the removal tool. And if you click wires and cables, it'll go in and do that for you. Try this again. Find distractions, wires and cables. Do anything to that at all? Nope. Alright, we'll just save that out. No big deal on that one. Can't always do it. And after we kick all of these out from JPEGs, we'll drop TV images in our TV screens. Just give it that like elevated lifestyle kind of like look to the images. Do our window here because I think that'll be pretty quick. And let's have it align our layers here using Instamask. Okay. Check them, make sure there's not any movement. Okay, now I'm just going to go through it and I'm going to use an action that brings my raw adjustment up by a stop on each image, just to get them to blend a little bit easier. Let's have it select our brights here. I think we'll just straight layer that in. Okay. Let's go into camera raw here. Just gonna push our shadows, our blacks, pull down on our highlights. It's 26. Okay. I think I might use this layer to start my window pull. And it's going to be rough here for a minute, but we'll go in and we'll clean it up. Okay. Layer in our window pull. Turn that layer off. Go in and adjust our mask. Set that to 2.5. Okay. I'm going to use my object selection tool to help me clean up my edges here. Let's go brush and let's paint back in some of our window edge there. Do this side here. And I'm gonna do a little bit by hand here. Let's grab this edge. They wanted kind of like a mountain view out the window. Paint that in. Grab this edge here. Paint all that back. Okay, now I'm just going to go in and do a little bit of raw adjustments to this. Push our shadows. Generally 65 is the limit on how far you want to go with your blacks or your shadows. Give it exposure, another half stop boost, and then pull down on our highlights. And it blends a little bit easier there along the edges. Okay, let's merge our layers. Let's go into camera raw. Give this some contrast. Now let's push our midtones until our midtones kind of start to glow in this image. Somewhere in there. Shadows a little bit. Blacks a little bit. And we're just going to pull down on our highlights. That kind of brings back the amount of detail that we want there. Okay. Sharpening. And the white stuff is the stuff that's being sharpened. The black stuff is what's being ignored. Then I'm just going to go in. We're going to do our color mixer here. Go to our hue, make our oranges a little bit more yellow. Our yellows more yellow. Our reds more orange. Pull down on our saturation on our reds a little bit, our oranges, yellows, okay, let's do a hue saturate, have it select our whites. We're just going to make our whites a little bit more white in this image. And we're going to hit a little bit of our window here, but we'll clean it up. And so now I'm going to use my window layer to clean up the desaturate that we did there. And that'll bring back any color that I might have taken away. And let's have it select our ceiling here. Let's paint that out too. Pull all the color out of that. Right now, let's take that to like 79%. And now what I'll do is we're just gonna hit it with some brightness, making all our whites whiter. Okay. Merge our layer. Dupe this layer. Come into camera raw here. I'm gonna reduce down on some of these thatch on this. Get it a gray blue kind of wall there. We got some magenta in there. Even out our tones. Down our yellows a little bit, our oranges. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and selectively paint this in. And drop our flow to like 10%. I'm just going to start painting some of this in, cleaning up my paint here. Don't worry about hitting the curtain here. We're going to desaturate it a little bit, but we'll go back and clean it up. And that looks super clean. Let's select our curtain. And we're gonna paint with black on this. Go to 100%, 100% flow. And we're just gonna paint all of our curtain back in. And because we desaturated this image, we're going to add some vibrance back to it. That way it just leaves our color clean. Okay, let's do vertical and horizontal straightening. And I might push this up or down. I might just zoom in more on that. We'll call that our final image. Let's go in and let's remove this. So I can see it here now. And that looks good to me. Let's see how many images we've done for this unit. We got the 1, 2, 3. Let's do the reverse angle of this. Simple enough. Debating on whether or not I want to do that one or not. These 4 files into Photoshop layers. And give that a second to load up there. It's like we got 2 viewers on Twitch in the stream at the moment. Say hi in the chat. Let's align our layers here. Let's brighten all of these. That'll be our window pool. Okay, so let's brighten all these. I have an action in Camera Raw that I've written where I just hit Control F5 and it does it for me real quick. Okay. Have it select our brights. I think I'm just gonna layer mask that one, do it selectively. Okay. Let's start with our window here. That'll make it easier to pull our window pull in. And let's do like 25% on our bed here. Bring back a little bit of that detail there. Same thing on the towels there. I might just do that window. That one's gonna be easier. We're gonna roughly have it select around our stuff here. And it did a pretty shitty job. Try this one. It's better. Have it roughly select around this. I think we just use this one. So I'm going, I'm gonna adjust my shadows and my blacks on this, down on my highlights. And I'm just gonna go around the edges now. Actually, I think what I might do on this, put on the highlights on this as well. Bring up my shadows and blacks just to help blend that edge a little bit better. There we go. And let's select around our edge here. And we're just gonna go in, paint with black, get that all cleaned up. Now let's bring that up to 100. Paint away our edge. Same thing there. And let's go in and let's feather our edge to like 2.5, 2 point something pixels. Do some chromatic aberration on the camera raw file there. Zoom in. That's looking pretty good for a window fold. I guess I could saturate it a little bit more. A bit of vibrance and saturation. Looks pretty good to me, so let's merge all these together. Give it some contrast. Push our midtones until they start to glow a little bit. Let's pull down on our highlights a little bit. Gain the right amount of detail in our bed there. Okay, let's do our color mixer. Go to our hues. Make our oranges more yellow. Our yellows more yellow. Our red's more orange. Okay. Bit of sharpening. Did we desaturate? I don't think we did. Desaturation. The yellow. The orange. The red. Okay, let's do desaturate. This one's for our whites. Go in and select our white tones. And we're just going to paint all of that so it's more white. Roughly go in and hit around our window edge there. We'll clean that up. We're probably going to desaturate a little bit, some stuff, but we'll fix it. Okay. Have to go in, select our ceiling. Paint out our ceiling, and we need to just clean up our selection just a little bit. Looks like you grabbed a little bit of that gray there. Okay, now let's go and brush all that out. Yeah, I'm gonna select my window layer, and we're gonna paint back in any desaturation that we might have got around from our window edge there. Okay, now we're gonna go in and we're gonna give this some brightness. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do another desaturate layer. This is just for our blacks or anything that would, you know, be mixed light that we don't want from our blacks. Put this color right here. Okay, let's paint all that out. Clean up our carpet a lot. We hit this color right here. Much cleaner. So let's set that to like 79%. And that one to 79%. Okay. Now I'm going to do this layer, and we're just going to go in, we're going to kill any unwanted color that we don't want. Like there's some yellow green in here. Go after the blue. It's orange, yellow. Our walls are looking pretty clean there. a little bit more on this side. There we go. In this, we're just going to paint in selectively. I'm going to reduce my flow on this. Now I'm just going to start painting away at my wall here. Cleaning up this color. I'm not going to worry too much about what I hit here, just because we can go in and reduce the effect of it. Go like 79% on that. I cleaned it up quite a bit. Go in and select some of the furniture stuff that I don't want to hit and desaturate. Like our curtain or our bed there. Bed. Go 100% on flow. Gonna paint back in that saturation on that. Maybe just come around and hit this. And do one more adjustment. And we were doing kind of like a straight on this, so let's do something like that. And I think I'm just going to pull down a little bit on my highlights, just gain back a little bit more of that detail and towel detail. Just push my exposure just a little bit. That looks good to me. Let's save that out. And the view isn't super great out that window, so I'll probably skip that one. Make that red. Could do that one, but I don't know if I want to. From that angle. I don't know if I want to do that one. I think I'm going to take a break here for a little while, but I'll be back here to finish up these last 4 or 5 photos. This is going to be the end of the stream for now, but I'll see you guys here in a little while.